This is IGN. In case you were wondering, the director of the original Home Alone is not a fan of the really bad sequels. Welcome to your IGN Daily Update. But first, Point Break is reportedly getting a TV show set 35 years after the events of the iconic 90s movie. Deadline reports that AMC is developing a TV series based on the 1991 film starring Patrick Swayze, Keanu Reeves, Lori Petty, and Gary Busey. Point Break, directed by Kathryn Bigelow, follows rookie FBI agent Johnny Utah, played by Keanu Reeves, who goes undercover to infiltrate a gang of Southern California surfers led by the charismatic Bodie, played by Patrick Swayze, who are suspected of pulling off bank robberies as the ex-presidents. Utah ends up drawn into their adrenaline-fueled lifestyle and falls for a surfer girl named Tyler, played by Lori Petty. According to Deadline, this new TV series revolves around, quote, a dangerous heist crew with ties to the ex-president's gang. It's set in 2026, 35 years after Point Break's 1991 setting. The series is from Dave Kalstein, whose credits include Amazon's Daniel Day Kim thriller Butterfly and CBS's NCIS Los Angeles, ABC's Quantico, and USA Network's Treadstone. That's all the information we have right now. There's no word on new characters, a new cast, or whether Keanu Reeves himself might pop up in some fashion. This isn't the first attempt to revive Point Break. A 2015 remake came and went without making much of a splash at all. And Gaston, the swole villain from Beauty and the Beast, will reportedly be the next Disney baddie to get the live-action movie treatment. Following in the footsteps of Maleficent and Cruella de Vil, Deadline reports that development has begun on a Gaston standalone picture. It's believed that the movie will feature an all-new version of the character, depicted in Disney's 1992 animated classic as a self-entitled sexist. Luke Evans previously portrayed the character in live action in the 2017 Emma Watson starring Beauty and the Beast remake. Work on the project is still in its early stages, but Disney is apparently very keen on the idea and planning a swashbuckling take. Reportedly, Disney briefly paused its work on live-action remakes that feature classic characters after this spring's disastrous launch of A New Snow White, which failed to recoup its $240 million production budget amid a string of poor reviews and online controversies. But the company has apparently now thought on the concept, following the $1 billion success of its subsequent Lilo and Stitch movie, for which a sequel is already in the works. Disney is also believed to be planning a live-action version of Tangled, with Scarlett Johansson reportedly in talks to play its villain Mother Gothel. Home Alone director Chris Columbus is part of a truly solid crop of American directors who excelled in the comedy space in the 80s and 90s, but he isn't quite as fond of the comedic efforts that came after his work in the Home Alone franchise. In fact, he recently went as far as to call the other installments really bad. It's been revisited with really bad sequels, Columbus said while speaking at a screening at the Academy Museum recently. Sorry to insult anybody, but they've completely f***ed it up. It started with Home Alone 3 and then it just went downhill from there. Home Alone 3 is sort of the best of the bunch of the bad movies. He didn't name drop any of the other titles specifically, but after Home Alone 3, there were 3 more sequels featuring different protagonists: 2002's Home Alone 4, 2012's Home Alone: The Holiday Heist, and 2021's Home Sweet Home Alone. For Columbus, a big part of the problem was in the wire work, which gives a, quote, false sense of the stunt and makes the franchise's classic stunts look unnatural. That said, we could have a really great Home Alone sequel if 20th Century Studios would just listen to original star Macaulay Culkin, who recently had an excellent idea for a legacy sequel film that he shared during a show on the A Nostalgic Night with Macaulay Culkin tour. In his concept, his original character, Kevin McAllister, is an adult father. I'm working really hard and I'm not really paying enough attention, and the kid is kind of getting miffed at me, and then I get locked out, Culkin explains. He won't let me in, and he's the one setting traps for me. Honestly, we think he might be onto something. So, 20th Century, you should listen up. The original Home Alone is available to stream now on Disney+. That's your IGN Daily Update. My name is Tony Jackson, and if you want more news on your favorite games and entertainment topics, make sure to visit us at IGN.com. You can also download our free app on your phone or console and subscribe to our weekly podcasts through the podcast service of your choice.
spoken layer.